Alrighty.
Welcome. We still want to use that name, Enlightened Centrists.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe malevolent centrist. I like that better.
Wow, why? Why malevolent?
I feel like I'm not as caring as other centrists are. You know what I mean?
As what?
I'm not as caring as other centrists. Like, wait, hold on. Say something. Okay,
Um.
there we go. No, we're good. We're good. Okay. I'm saying I'm not as
Well, we'll
caring.
get into that. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh. We'll get it. Well, all right. Well, why is that exactly?
I'm kind of fed up with people determining their own lives. You know, like when you give people too much freedom,
Um.
it's like,
All right. We're really gonna get into that shit. Okay. Oh fuck. All right. For context, me and now I want to call you Justinian, but I can call you. It's fucking me and Shell because we're talking to the world. It's not just me and him.
yeah.
Um, well, I'll be the first to say it's weird. It does feel like we're talking to a third person, but at least the start. Because by the in like 10 minutes, it won't feel like that. I just know because we just hit record. It feels like there is a third person, which there is technically. If anyone's listening, that's the third person. But
Yep.
dude, it's weird that like get a phone call from Sheldon. Like, fuck, it's so trippy to me. Well, actually, because it's funny, because last time we didn't really cover personal life stuff.
Not as much, yeah.
Um, as in, like, I've had, like, yeah, I guess I'm fucking, I don't think you ever met him, but, there's this guy, Noah. He's been the constant presence since high school.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, I don't know if you have this with your, I don't know, friends in general, but people usually, they don't like phone calls anymore.
That's weird as hell.
So, huh?
That's weird to me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's just rare that I don't know. It's just like a fucking blast from the past. I guess it's like, oh, Sheldon's calling. Um, but yeah, because most of my friends from my high school, they don't do that. The college friends, no. But it's fuck. It's still. I gotta get used to it. It's trippy. Uh, I was thinking another potential name would just be called just catching up.
Ooh, I like that.
You do?
I do like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's catchy, right? A
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Okay. Because it also gets around the whole like, oh, is this just a politics podcast?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, like, you watch football regularly,
Oh,
and so do I.
yeah, almost all the time. Yeah.
Do you watch the other sports, or is it just football?
I'll do baseball for when it gets close to postseason, and then I'll do basketball when football ends.
Okay, so NBA, that's gonna be February to June, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because those are long. You know, it's funny because those are longer seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. I would love to get into baseball, but every time April rolls around, it's like I just don't do it. I watched the World Series last year. That was pretty fun. I
Yeah.
watched the World Series and what is the ALCS? That
Mm-hmm.
was the Yankees were in it too. So
Exactly.
that's different actually. You know what? That's different. That's why. Because if it's not, because that is like your home team and it is the Yankees and um yeah, those sports they don't. It's the good and the bad part because there's going to be so much of it. You can watch it every night,
Mm-hmm.
but the bad part is the games don't mean as much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of like a weird. I don't know. Like, because in football, especially towards the end of the season, you will have these games that are basically their playoffs.
Uh huh.
You know, um, especially with seeding. Whereas in those like baseball and basketball, it's kind of like I mean, maybe they don't have those games really, right?
Nope.
Right. Okay. So, all right. Because yeah. Okay. So it's just, we watch sports. We both love the movies.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and I guess pop culture in general. Is there anything we used to like? I mean, I used to like science a lot more. I guess I don't know if you dropped that interest or not.
I'll watch
Uh,
like I'll do like I'll watch those channels like Veritasium and like I don't know. I like scientific
well,
history. You know, I like that shit.
because I remember, yeah, I remember. I forgot it. You got me in the Vsauce way back when.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Uh, just speaking of politics, I think I fell into this group of people that I think we're coming out of now that did use science as a religious replacement.
Yeah, that's whack.
What do you mean?
It's cringe. Like I feel like you like. Come on, man. Like it's science. It's not religion. You know, I think they're very different. Science can be very cold and like heartless sometimes. You know.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. What do you think of Neil deGrasse Tyson or Bill Nye?
I like them, but I feel like as you just like as what you said, like some people view it either as a religion or like some sort of social orientation in this world. So like they think Bill Nye and Neil, they treat them kind of the way like people will treat saints, you know. And I'm like, this is weird. Like,
Yes.
you know, it's weird.
But now here's the thing. I I haven't seen that in years. That kind of behavior. Um, is that accurate? Do you think? I could be totally wrong, but
No,
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure I'm right.
yeah, I think it's I think I don't know
Like
why.
it's
You
faded
know?
away totally.
Yeah, like I don't know. I can't explain it, but I think that people are less like I don't know. They're less inclined to like fall down that rabbit hole because I guess it's not cool anymore or whatever.
Yeah, well, I think it went away after Trump.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
it went no, because it the idea was, yeah, dude. I know I forgot if we talked about it last week, but that election is fucking. That really is like a cutoff point
yeah,
in a way. I don't think even 9/11 is.
yeah. I agree.
Because it really felt like. I know I said last episode that it has this feeling about anything that happened, but it's a little more like okay, the future will not be what you think it is.
Yeah,
Like, because I feel like before 26, yeah, because it felt like before 2016 we were just inevitably going to the future, and it was just going to be more technologically advanced and more diverse, and the past will just keep receding. And Trump, before he won, was just like this last gasp of the white stuff and the religious stuff, and then he's gone. And then, I mean, you had that with, yeah, but you know what's funny? Because you would think that stuff would have come back after Biden won, but it didn't. I guess
yeah,
because Trump never went away. Yeah,
yeah,
so there was never. Because I think the religious replacement, it went from like there was that page. I remember I fucking love science. That page.
yeah. I do. Yeah,
Well, there was that. There was the God. So God had a Facebook profile.
yeah, yeah. That too. Yep.
I think that all went away once Trump, like once the religious thing went from science to being anti-Trump.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened, and now, I mean, Trump won, and I mean, well, we'll get into I don't. I forget if we got into like the predictions part because it's gonna really matter what happens in 2028
Mm-hmm.
because that could be obviously Newsom wins or I don't know whoever wins. The Democrats could win or the Republicans could win, or we could just not have election. That can happen too.
Yeah.
But it's like it's hard to determine. I don't know, because like I'm wary of saying shit that ends up being totally wrong in 3 years.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be that guy who like gets it really wrong.
You know what? I think that all this shit hinges on each other. Like I think if we are involved in like a military conflict by the time election time comes
Oh
around,
yes,
I can see Trump being like, "Oh, suspend the election. We're at war," you know?
yeah, and it would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. It's funny. I was going through the 2004 election, and I don't know. I came away going, yeah, let's keep Bush. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe that is the conservative in me, but it's like I don't know. There's some about it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm trying to throw because I have Reagan friends like
Mm-hmm.
who love that stuff, and I don't know if I'm just trying to be nice to them, but I don't know. I don't know. Because I watched the Reagan, I watched the Bush speech in 2004, and then I watched the Kerry speech in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
I just came away thinking, all right, it sounds like Bush kind of has his head on his shoulders a bit more. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's also hindsight, like at the time, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I another probably my most neoconservative opinion is that the war in Iraq wasn't the worst idea. Actually, it's not the best idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it was the worst idea either. Where it's like, all right, I don't know. I mean,
Is this
especially again at the time.
Saddam Hussein
Yeah,
and then like there was like that shit about like the Scud missiles and all that. Is that what this is? Is that what the Iraq War
that
was?
was 91. That was
Okay, my bad.
91. This is 2003, where Saddam. Yeah, Saddam. I guess because it's also like we already invaded.
Okay.
If you try to pull out immediately, that seems kind of dumb. Um, so that might be it too. Yeah, Saddam. Because the idea was in 2003, 9/11 just happened. Saddam Hussein is out there, and he's really crazy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like because I might have watched something about this recently. I think he fucked up like in terms of who he was attacking and when. You know, like there's some military decisions he made where like if he didn't make them, he probably wouldn't have been like the idea that I get is that everyone kind of dogpiled on him, right?
On Saddam
Yeah.
or Bush.
Like I'm on Saddam. I mean, like in that whole area in the
Um,
Middle East, I'm pretty sure there were other countries that were like they just didn't like him and they helped America.
oh
You
no,
know?
that's true. No, you're right. No, he was very. He didn't get along with the Saudis. Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't get along with the Saudis or the Iranians.
yeah.
So he kind of fucked himself that way. You're right,
Hmm.
actually. I didn't forgot about that.
So I'm with you. I
But
don't think it's the worst, and I don't think. I mean, I see why people are mad today, but it's like this is with hindsight, you
right,
know.
yeah, at the time, it's like, all right. I mean, again, not the worst idea, but it is. It was illegal. That is, and it's like, all right, it is. I guess you can't just without strong enough evidence. You kind of can't do that, and America did. Now, here's the thing. That is conservative, where it's like, yeah, that's just it's rules on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
That like it's the liberal thing to go, yeah, but when I'm at the rules, and it's like then that's an interesting liberal conservative dynamic. But yeah, are there any other topics we'd be covering besides sports, movies, and politics? Anything come to mind? Because I don't know, business.
Well,
I don't follow
yeah.
any ideas.
I don't really follow that stuff. I mean, let me try to come up with a list. Sports is always good because that shit is like essentially year round, right? Sports.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's dude, I've been watching so many movies. I watched shit. What did I watch? I don't know. I like this. You know the director Ari Aster.
Yes.
I really like his movies.
Okay.
And then
All right. Some movies.
I don't really watch TV as much. Like I fucking hate. I don't like how. Like I like movies a little better than TV because I feel like TV is so. Consumers is the wrong word, but I feel like TV moves in these weird cycles where it's like you kind of get the same slop every like 5 years, and I'm just not a fan of that anymore.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what like talking about old school TV or like the
New
that.
TV.
Yeah, because new television, it's they're basically now 8 to 10 hour movies,
Exactly.
and some of them are mini series. Some of them try to do like the 50-hour movie thing.
Well, I like I miss the days when they were like these long running shows and like
right.
they came out weekly and like
Well, right,
you
and
know
Okay, well, we'll talk about. Okay, well, I guess we'll do the movies first. Because I'm gonna say the politics almost maybe for last,
Okay, sure.
because it's probably the biggest topic. It's
Yeah.
also it's the most relevant one because I mean, like Hollywood's not really putting out anything to talk about. Um, it's just hard to even do a movie podcast only unless you're talking about older movies. Then it's like, all
Yeah.
right, well, there's a plethora of material there. But in terms of like current, like, okay, what's out this week or what's out this month?
Hmm.
I couldn't. I mean, Fantastic Four, Superman.
There's that new Leo movie, One Day After Another. There's that one.
Well, right, you're right. Yeah, the one, right? Okay.
And then the football one, I think it's called Him.
Yes, him. Okay,
But
so like this
that's all I
stuff.
know. I only know those two right now.
Dude, it used to be every week.
Yeah.
There was a new. Okay, here's a new movie. Okay, let's talk about it. It's a new movie. It's um. Oh, what are the movies come out next year? And it's like, oh, now it's okay. Yeah. So what happened with TV? It's really bad. Um, especially because it used to be the best way to get into Hollywood was as a TV writer.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because I got in an argument with my father like last week or week and a half ago, and he was like, "Oh, this screenwriting thing ever worked out?" And it's like, dude, have you seen Hollywood lately? The town almost burned down
Yeah.
9 months ago, right? It burned down like with fire, like
Yeah.
and so like. But anyway, it used to be. Because all right, so what we think of as the golden age of TV, it was Breaking Bad, the four show Breaking Bad, Mad Men, Sopranos, and The Wire.
Yeah.
Now most of those writer rooms, especially Breaking Bad, those guys like Vince Gilligan, they came up on the model of 25 episodes a year.
Hmm.
Um, that's just and it's where it gets interesting because a lot of them were just like there were sitcoms, there was detective shows where it's just a new like case of the week kind of thing,
Yeah.
and then some of the shows they tried to do a plot line, like X-Files half did it,
Hmm.
The Lost did it fully, 24 did it fully, they did a full big plot line.
Yeah.
um and then when those went away, like jobs went away, as in you just didn't need the TV writers as much, so it
Hmm.
became harder to just get into Hollywood. And as for movies, well, that's a different. I'm glad you miss it because it's just a good training ground for writers, and I think it's pretty bad it went away, and I don't know if it even can come back, unfortunately. Um, because it really is a specific time and place. Um, like we used to have pulp magazines in the 40s and 30s and 50s. That was short stories, and then you had radio dramas. Um, but I don't know. Now you have TikTok. That really, and even podcasts. Like I can't tell you how much that stuff fucks with mainstream entertainment
Yeah.
because there's no mainstream. So how do you make mainstream entertainment?
Yeah. Like
Uh,
I hear what you're saying. Like there's almost like there's this loss of control that like these major
right.
studios have had to, I guess, the proliferation of the internet and like alternate forms of entertainment.
Right, and that's cool. No, it's cool for creators, but it's not. I think it's ultimately because I've seen people say it's like, yeah, but now it's easy to make a movie. But it's like, yeah, but who's watching them?
Yeah.
That to me is the biggest problem with like, oh, just make your own movies. It's like, yeah, but who will watch them?
Yeah.
And it's like, then you'll get it's sort of true where it's like, well, you make them for yourself. It's like, yeah, but that's not what it's not gonna motivate you to keep doing it. You're ultimately gonna need some form of structure, and we don't have those anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a question for you. Like, really, like if you were well, because you said you want to write a novel.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, well, we're gonna talk about it in a minute. If you were someone, I don't know. I guess either your age now or 10 years ago, like, could you even recommend they become a filmmaker?
Uh,
Like, what do you?
today,
Yeah,
like
today.
recommend somebody
2020.
become a filmmaker today.
Yeah.
What I would say
Or
to
is that?
them, like,
Yeah. Like, what do you say to them?
well, this is what I would say, and it's only because I've seen this success replicated. I would say do a couple short films just so that you
Yeah.
can get used to like the set environment,
Yeah.
and then do a low budget horror movie, right?
Yeah.
And then that, if it's good, if your low budget horror movie is good, right, then that'll springboard you into some other shit, you know. But it's like it's tough, you know. It's hard because I've seen a lot of directors do that route, like the horror movie to now they're directing Shazam or some shit, you know. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's tough because you kind of get some guys get pigeonholed and now they can only make horror movies, and then some guys are like they never like cross over, I guess, you know. Like we're not seeing like James Cameron's and Spielberg's, and,
Right.
you know, like we're not seeing that kind of, I guess, like a career path from some of these newer directors.
No, that's horrible. That's very
Yeah,
concerning that
it's real
they're
bad.
well, right. That I mean, and just the reason it's relevant is I think that's a huge reason why I went more into podcasting and politics. Like just naturally, it's like, all right, well, if I can't do this, it's like, yeah, I really do feel like politics. It's like the last thing we do together.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, everyone has an opinion on Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, and a strong opinion too. Whereas like even like people, I know people watching like The White Lotus or Severance, but the opinion was always like weak. It was always like, yeah, I watched it, and anyway.
You know, I'm with you on like I think we need, and this is gonna sound terrible, but like I think we need less things. Like I wish that
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I agree.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I wish that because back in the day, and this is gonna make me sound like a fucking boomer, but it's like back in the day, it's like you kind of have to watch television as it comes on, and there's
yeah,
only so many shows running at a time, and it's so like
yep,
maybe let's say you get lucky and you've got the best cable package, so you got like 4 or 5 shows you're following concurrently. You only have those
yeah,
4 or 5 shows. You can't hit up a
yes,
streaming service and fucking watch a whole, you know,
yeah.
other show. You can't go to the video store unless you want to shell out possibly hundreds of dollars on like I guess box sets of like old TV shows. You know what I mean? Like you have to make
Well,
a
and
commitment.
that's where the movies came in, and not just like the big movies, but like this is what Quentin Tarantino came up on. He came up on basically the B movies of I guess the 70s and 80s,
Mm-hmm.
which was horror, like horror movies, like I guess thrillers and crime movies, um, that are mostly forgotten in history, but would just be what you'd. I get. It seems like the YouTube video replaced that,
Yeah.
or the meme. So instead of, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, I guess it used to be these low budget movies. Those were the memes of like the 80s, you know?
Yeah.
And then it became cheap enough to make your own movies, and that's where Tarantino and like Kevin Smith came in. Um and now oh god, it's I don't
And
know.
there's this look. There's this thing about like there's so many different forms of entertainment, and while that's good, it also means that
Yeah,
like instead of watching like a 2 hour movie, I can sit on my
yeah.
phone and scroll Instagram for 2 hours. You
Yes.
know.
And it's just as good. There's a lot of funny shit on
There
Instagram.
is. It's addicting.
Right. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to get me talking about it because then it's like It really is almost like a war I can't talk about.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to talk about Nam. I don't. Dad never talks about what happened in Vietnam. No, and he's never going. He's never going to tell you. Um. All right, you tell because that's my advice too. Like there's some just to be optimistic. Like if you wanted to, I mean I've thought about it. Yeah, low budget. Well, how? All right. Well, actually, okay. Two optimistic things. One is I I don't know. I feel like it is semi likely that people will be able to use AI to help them make movies. Either, I mean, the ultimate example would be people making movies on their laptop,
Yeah.
and they don't need anyone else. With and like, dude, you want to blow your brain? All right, you want to blow your brains out? Google Avengers Doomsday, and you'll see a lot of AI content
Yeah.
that isn't horrible.
Yeah.
It's not good, right? It's not good. But if this is what it's doing now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like dude, I don't like in 10 years if well, okay, here's the third thing. I do think, well, I mean you actually might disagree. My view is that technological advancement at this point especially, I do think it's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can also choose like, hey, no, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not gonna really engage with this stuff. I'm good. No, thank you.
I'm with you on that. I think like,
You think so?
yeah, we're at the point. Like me, I would say I'm like half in, half out in terms of like, I do have streaming services that I like watch, from time to time, and but I also like if I really like a movie, I buy the Blu-ray. You know what I mean? And like, so then I can have a
Oh
physical
wow.
copy,
Okay.
and then like, um, I am the type to like still go to movie theaters. Like I truly
Okay.
love going to a movie theater, sitting down and watching a movie in a theater as opposed to like my home. You know.
Right. No, I did. Too. What was the last movie you went and saw then?
Let me think. Shit. What came? Oh, it was Fantastic Four. I saw that in theaters.
Would you? All right. Well, fun. What did you think of it? What did you think of Fantastic Four?
It was cool. I think it's a nice break from. I don't want to call it Marvel slop, but it's a nice break from. Marvel has this thing where some of the movies are like, if you haven't watched 3 movies before, then this movie seems a little weird,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's a good break from that, but also it's kind of like I'm in this weird spot where it's like I love this epic that Marvel has laid out over 20 fucking films, but
Yeah.
it's also like that makes it hard for you to appreciate every individual film and judge it, I would say, more
Yeah.
harshly than you normally would. And so I'm in this weird spot where it's like Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts had such a really great view on mental health and how depression affects people
Right.
and trauma and all that shit. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. But at the end of the movie, it's just like shoehorning in. Oh, guess what? They're the new Avengers, and they're gonna be in this
Yeah.
film. And then I'm like, well, there was a really cool, point you made about depression and mental health and like
Yeah.
someone's traumatic past, but it's like it's overshadowed by, and the new Avengers will appear in Doomsday, Marvel's Doomsday or whatever. And it's like, okay, man.
Yeah. It's a killer. It's not the worst problem, but it is a bit of a just a, like a I don't know. I wish we didn't.
Yeah.
Like, what if we didn't? You
Yeah.
know. Because I can't imagine trying to do that in like 1940s movies.
Yeah.
Where you just try to shoehorn like just put every movie in the same cinematic universe, and it's like no. No, there's definitely it's a killer because it can't because it doesn't it's another Marvel movie. It's not this cool new idea. It's just one of 40 fucking movies. I think it might if you add up the Disney Plus stuff
Oh
and
yeah.
count them as it's got to be it's 60, right?
Dude, I don't even want to think about how much there is.
So Feige admitted this is a problem
Mm-hmm.
with he admitted What did he say? He said, yeah, he admitted, okay, that we put out way too much stuff that not enough people are watching.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the stuff after Secret Wars won't have that problem.
Okay.
Um, so that's interesting. And I did because I was watching. The most fun I had this summer, which is again because of the politics, has been just awfully bleak. That's all. I gotta be honest. It's hypothetically, let's say we do World War III.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to the Avengers movies?
Right. See, that's, you know what, Paul. Something that I've believed in for, like, I want to say about a couple months now is that there will be no, like, major significant change as long as, I don't know, your Amazon packages still get delivered,
Well,
or,
yeah,
you know, like, as long as those systems of infrastructure are still in place, like, not like people aren't going to care enough.
right,
You know what I mean? Like if let's say there is truly, let's say this Israel Palestine shit gets insane, right? And
right,
now Israel's just bombing everyone around them, right? And it's about
right,
to kick off World War III. A real question that's going to be asked is like, but how will World War III affect, like, our bottom line? You know, like Johnson and
right. Well,
Johnson
right,
is going to be like, well, you know, World War III can happen, but how about we don't go to war? And how about we just keep doing this consumerist, you know, experiment in
right,
America for as long as we possibly can?
right. Well, it's the deeper underpinning of why the nothing ever happens meme
Yeah.
is really funny
Yeah.
because it's the reason nothing ever happens is it's there's still money to make
Yeah.
and there might well that's the thing I think we're getting a little into politics but
Yeah.
for the sake of the point it's like the question will become will there ever be a point when there's not enough money to be made and if you look at the economy right now um I mean, have you read anything about the economy the past week
I
or
think something good's happening. I can't tell.
oh some's really it's basically it came out that the authorities are basically admitting, all right, so one half of the country's in a recession, the other half the one third of the country's in a recession, the other third is in stagflation.
Mm,
But the boomers are doing well,
of
of
course.
course.
Of course.
Of course. Well, that's the other because I've been trying to play. So okay, when will things get crazy? And as the boomers die away, that well, oh god, well, there's a really chilling possibility. Of what if they just don't? I'm not even kidding. With like technology,
Yeah.
what if these people live like they're still alive when they're 130? Now what?
Jesus. Jesus
that
Christ.
right? I'm not even joking. Like technically, I don't know. Does the human body have to die at 100?
No, it's more like, and you're right about the life expectancy increasing. So we could very well see this whole generation of boomers go right into like the 110s, possibly 20s, you know.
Right. And it's like, uh, I don't know if that's because my what I was originally gonna say was that what was I gonna say? It was some like okay, so once the boomers die off, well, no, it could still happen because the problem is even though they're old, they're the people in like the enforcers of the quote unquote regime will get older.
Yep.
And our people will replace them. That's when then that might not matter. It'll just be really ugly. Where it's like they are turning off the machines that keep grandma alive. They will absolutely. I'm not kidding. That really isn't a joke. There will be. I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
not joking. If it comes to that, I I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, see, I guess that's where maybe you are Melelvin centrist because it
Yeah.
really is
Yeah.
like I don't know, Grandma. You kind of fucked over all of your children and grandchildren,
Yeah.
so maybe you do get turned off at 100, and that's it. Um,
Well, just imagine
I
this.
don't.
Imagine like the immense strain that all of these boomers are currently and going to have on all of the like, elderly
Healthcare.
care. Yeah, like on healthcare and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, look, the one saving grace. So the good news in my I don't I forget how much I've gotten into my personal life. Uh, I mean, my life went to shit. Unfortunately, the past 9 months. Uh, my two choices are education or home health aid.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, so it seems like for anyone who's down and out, it seems like because they give out 75-hour courses. So it's gonna. I don't know, man. It's almost weird because I can kind of see that working. It's just gonna be weird. I don't know because it kind of like if you think about it, it does work, right? Where it's like, okay, the young. I mean, it definitely human progress will stall. Maybe that's a good thing, but it will be like you're gonna just the entire youth generation will spend their middle age just taking care of old people.
Yeah, and what I'm also thinking that people have been saying shit. They've been saying shit like, "Oh, when all the boomers die, there's going to be this massive transfer of wealth."
Well, that's what I was gonna massive transfer of wealth, and because they're just leaving power, new people will come and they'll have different ideas.
But think about it like this: like if I'm in charge of, let's say, like I'm in charge of a healthcare company,
Yeah.
like not like a big pharma company where I have like limits on how much I can profit, but like let's say I'm like a company that offers retirement homes or something like that, right?
Right.
And I know that the boomers are getting old and they need to stay in these homes. I'm just gonna raise prices and extract wealth from them,
Yeah.
because they have
Right.
the wealth and like
It's the profit motive.
yeah, and they want to live longer. So I feel like this fucking mythical wealth transfer. I don't think it's gonna happen, dude. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna
Well, and
prolong
then
their lives.
right, and so at that point, again, I'm sorry because I don't know, bro. There's a point where they'll just take it from you. Well, I get in trouble with this. I'll say this: we'll dance around a bit because this gets into politics. Just because the people who stand up for the boomers the most among young people are what I call the young right liberals. So like people who really like Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
They really like the boomers. Okay. And their view is it would be very, very, very bad if you stole the boomers' money. Now, I agree halfway. I agree, but that's me kind of just like I'm a Catholic. I think human life is an infinite relevance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, it's kind of like if you what is it? If you poke the bear,
Yeah.
right? If you poke the bear for 80 years, you sure they're not gonna turn off the machine?
Yeah.
It's just one flip of a button, and you're dead, Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, because that's the thing that we have, and I think we're at that point already right now. I I don't know, dude. I don't know if it'll get any worse. I don't know. Because the Donald Trump pitch, the reason he was elected is it's I'm gonna make you all a bunch of money. If he can't do that, we're gonna have to try something else.
Yep.
And well, we'll get into that later. But I want to put a pin. But what do you think? That isn't a joke question. If crazy shit happens, what happens to because there's gonna be the biggest. They're gonna try and make the biggest movies of all time, right? These two, especially at least Secret Wars. It's just like you know what? How about this? Let's say in an alternate scenario in 2019. I mean, I guess COVID kind of gave a run through of that, but that's just people staying home.
Mm-hmm.
What if in 2019, for some bizarre reason, China and Russia invaded America for whatever reason? Like, what happens to that movie?
Like I don't know.
right?
Like I really
Like,
don't know.
because I know, like with 9/11, they delayed the football too, right? It's like they delayed football for a week,
Mm-hmm.
and then they came back the next, I think, on the 22nd of September.
Yeah.
The football. Well, weirdly enough, wow, 24 years ago to not to the day, but this week,
Yeah.
24 years ago, football was back. Um, yeah, well, and yeah, because it's like, well, what if, yeah, the Amazon packages, like, oh, like how? Okay, I mean, if you think about it, how do those packages get to the house, right?
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I like. I truly believe that there is like a there's like a and this is why America's been, I guess, so great for so long. It's because we've been such a stable country. Like even with the
Yes,
kids protesting Vietnam and even with the civil rights
right.
movement, we've still kind of been like a relatively stable country. Like there's been no major, civil wars or
The last
uprisings.
one was 1865.
Exactly. So it's like because I think Americans have like in general have just gotten very used to like, oh, everything's going to be okay. This
Right.
optimism. And I think that if you have that optimism, if you've literally been raised generationally, like your parents didn't experience anything crazy, they didn't experience anything crazy. I mean, there was World War II, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like
But that wasn't existential.
yeah, exactly. So it's like think about the people who live in like I don't know, man. Like fucking. Well, look, Gaza Strip. People live in
Well,
the fucking Gaza
Congo,
Strip. Like they only know conflict.
Israel,
Yeah, they only
right?
know
Well,
conflict.
most of the world, and there's mixed. That and look, that's actually. And speaking of movies, I do read this stuff for inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Is most of the world is like that,
Yep.
and I'll be honest. I think it might be good for the human spirit,
Yeah.
and I don't really feel like it's that malevolent.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's like, yeah, you kind of, if you have nothing to live or die for, that just sounds really depressing.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
that's
soul
that's
killing.
and remember how we said that's the boredom there. It's like
Right.
the boredom comes from not really having like an
Oh
existential
yeah,
threat. So you
from
get
last,
bored.
and then that's when it's like, yeah, this Trump guy is really fucking funny. What if?
Yeah.
And what if?
Yeah.
You just imagine, like,
Yeah.
what if? I know, but what if he won? No, don't. Yeah, the boredom.
Yeah. And it's like when you hear Charlie Kirk say shit like, what the fuck did he say? He said something outlandish. He said something like, Islam is the knife that the
Oh, that will
Democrats.
cut the throat. Yes.
But you see, the
Right.
reason why he's using that language is because, like, that language motivates people. Because then you
Yeah.
think, oh my God, like, we're not at a literal war, but we're at like a cultural war. There's like a social
Right.
war, and so we
Yeah.
need to rally the troops. We need to show up at the ballot box. We need to, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And which is interesting because you're, well, you're a centrist liberal, but it's interesting because most centrist liberals, what centrism means is it's center liberal. It's like you affirm liberalism and its continuation. And the whole point of liberalism is that it's supposed to create an environment where people don't say that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's just you're the point of liberalism is everyone just makes more money. Yeah, someone on Twitter pointed this out. And it's utterly fast. It's a similar point. They said something a little different, but it seems like liberalism creates a certain peace that ends up becoming really boring, and people disrupt it to go back to the old ways.
Yeah.
And then the old ways are pretty hard. Well, but I guess that's the thing. I mean, because that's where I'm at. It's like, can we keep liberalism? Is it worth keeping?
I don't know. I think this
Um,
shit I think this shit has to move in cycles, unfortunately. Like it just has to.
but is there? Well, is liberalism a cycle or is it an aberration that just was never really meant to be?
No, I think
That's
it's
kind of something I think about.
I think it's part of the cycle. Like if you look at the
Okay.
history of a country like Iran, right?
Yeah.
Iran went from being, this very they had those leaders that they outlawed. They tried to outlaw gambling, prostitution, drinking, etc.
Yeah.
They were very like, what's the word? Like a religious state, etc. But there was a guy who came in and was like, fuck all of that. And it was like this super liberal country for like a really long, not a really long time, but for a good amount of time. And then that spurred people. I mean, it's more complicated in the way I'm making it out to seem, but then people
No, but
were
I know.
like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Like now it's like a new revolution, a new regime. And now that, like, I'm saying that it's like, these are two sides of the coin is the wrong word, but think of it like the pendulum, you know, we just got to swing back and forth, unfortunately, because people living right now, today, like, don't understand what it was like to live exactly 100 years ago today, you know?
Right.
And so because they don't know that, because they don't experience it, like, you can tell them, like, I can go up to a woman and be like, hey, your husband was allowed to sexually assault you, you know, within the confines of your relationship. Like, you couldn't own any land, didn't have a bank account, etc. Like, I could say these things to them, but I don't think they understand, like, what it means. You know, you get what I'm saying?
They don't, and they don't. It sounds. They're missing the good parts of that too. I think most liberals do. Is it literally just means down your own. That's it. Now liberals will hear that and go, "What if I want to be on my own? Or what if the guy's bad?" And it's like, right, I mentioned this last week. The liberal skepticism. And it's like, it's an acid. First of all, I think if you're really going to go into questioning every single fucking thing, you're going to end up pretty unhappy. But how do I put it? Yeah, that's what that was for. It's like you didn't have your own bank account because you weren't on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way it's supposed to work with the husband is it's the same way. He's not on his own either. He has family and that kind of thing. Once you individualize everything, now you are on. And that's why, I don't know, dude. We've never. See. That's what I mean. That's what I mean about it's just politics. It's like, because the Avengers comes out in what, 2 years? Actually, a year from now,
Yeah.
Avenger Doomsday comes out. But we'll try to get back to that in a second. But we've never had a Great Depression where the culture was liberal. I don't think. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Because, well, on the one hand, yeah, I don't know. Because on the one, I've asked friends this, and one said, like, yeah, if a Great Depression happens, it's going to be Mad Men. Because there's going to be nothing holding people back from just being insane.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the whole point of liberalism is a dark part of it is that it's about breaking up people so that they don't do crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is dark and a bit fucked up, but it's kind of, if you're on your, I don't know. And I do think that theories, it's going to be put to the test. I mean, a bit of recent news, at least on my side of Twitter, is people are very upset that Charlie Kirk, like, they're not doing the whole arresting all the liberals thing. They're upset. And now it's, I don't know, the next 3 years will be interesting on that front. Is it okay? Are you going to try January 6th again?
Yeah.
Because that's where the rhetoric's going, unless this is all just talk. It might be all just talk. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. All right, movies. I'm trying to, actually, would you want to pause and break this up a bit?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me go. I forgot what I was going to do, but I got to go put this bowl in the sink or something.
Okay, pause it. Yeah.